Okay then guys, what's going on? Cloud Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're inside of the first Descendant, where we are going to be taking a look at something quite interesting. With only a matter of days left on this crossplay open beta, we know that we're going to be quite stagnant without this game for the next couple of months while we start looking at the full release 1.0 edition. Now, as we get close to the end of the beta though, we are starting to see some red flags and people are starting to put up some questionable reviews on the internet. So with that being said, we're going to go through some of these pointers today, and I want your opinions via the comment section below, so get those tapping fingers ready because I want to know exactly what you guys are thinking. With that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Also check out our sponsor Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favorite flavor is cherry vanilla, but you guys can catch an array of flavors via the link in the description, and using code CLOUD will get you a cheeky discount. With that being said, let's dive on into the video. So starting off, we're going to be talking about the comment that has been made quite endlessly by a lot of people with regards to the first Descendant, stating that the game is lifeless. Now, unfortunately, this is something I do have to agree with. The way that this game kind of works is the game is segregated into different areas of the map that you can go into, and inside of those areas of the map you have different segments that you guys can visit with different amounts of missions inside of them. Now, when you actually get into these individual segments though and go towards your mission, you very quickly realize that the world around you is pretty flat, like there is not a lot going on. Now, people are nitpicking to a point where they're saying that there's not enough foliage and not enough trees and not enough buildings and stuff like that, and for me that is borderline irrelevant at this point. I think that that's something that may be due to change, or even if it's not, it's neither here nor there for me. I think that the game's shaping up to be quite well enough to look at while you're roaming around the world, especially with other games in the market at the moment giving quite empty areas. But what we are looking at is enemy species. Now, enemy species miraculously appear when you jump into a mission or a quest. This essentially is saying that you can run around the open world for hours on end and run into absolutely nobody and absolutely nothing. And by nothing, I mean completely nothing. We are talking there is no animals roaming around, there are no random NPCs that are outside of the main base camp, there's no people just wandering about or doing anything, or no static enemies that are kind of like in little enemy base camps anywhere. You will not run into absolutely anybody for the whole time that you are running around this map, until you start up an instance inside of a mission and or quest, in which case you are then going to be met by a horde of them where you take them out and move on to the next part of the mission and rinse and repeat until the missions are completed. The way that this game essentially operates though is that you are running around an empty map, starting up missions, killing enemies, finishing a map, taking out a boss, and moving on to the next region. And that is essentially how this one is working. Now, they are not wrong when they are saying it is lifeless. It does very much seem to be the case. Unless you are in Albion, the main central hub, you are going to find NPCs for days. Now, as to why they haven't just segregated it into the game the way that they did inside of maybe Destiny, if you go into their open world, you'll find that there are just random Cabal or random Thrall or something like that just wandering around for you guys to take out, that are attacking you as you walk around the map. And it kind of gives a little bit of a 15-second rule or something like that, is every 15 seconds you will come across something else if you are traveling along the map. This game just doesn't seem to kind of really lean into that one too much. So I want to know what you guys are thinking about the lifeless comment in regards to the first Descendant via the comment section below. Next up, we're going to broach the monetization inside of this game. Now, this is Nexon, and we were under no illusion that they were going to have some sort of payment method to get most things done. Now, the way that this monetization actually works is in a bunch of different currencies. And by a bunch of different currencies, I mean a bloody bunch of different currencies. You are able to buy and purchase skins for characters, purchase skins for weapons. You are able to make purchases for shaders inside of the game, emotes. You are also going to be able to purchase title cards and stuff like that. There is going to be a lot of in-game purchases for this for cosmetic reasons. The problem that we have now though is that as we start to look a bit more into it, when you are crafting characters, when you are crafting upgrade materials, when you are crafting things that are going to make you stronger, these things have got quite a large time gate on them, with normal characters having around 12 hours for creation and ultimate characters having around 35 hours hours for creation, which is absolutely crazy, I may add, but you can pay to have those times shortened. Now, how much that is exactly going to be, we are yet to know, really. I haven't really seen any sort of insight into the store of how much this is going to cost for the credits to speed things up, but that is something that is being pushed quite heavily. Now, we are not alien to that at all, and I think that that is kind of neither here nor there, although there is a lot more room for in-game purchases. And if we know Nexon, which we do, there are going to be a lot more monetization options due to come the full launch. Now, during interviews, they have stated that they want to keep the monetization options quite low inside of this game, as to keep it relatively similar to other games in its genre. So if we look at Destiny 2, you are able to go to the Eververse and make purchases for weapon skins, armor sets. You are able to do land-in emotes, you are able to buy random normal emotes, shaders, and all sorts of stuff. Although the problem kind of occurs when we start working on a pay-to-win basis, where everything that you kind of need to craft takes so damn long that people can just purchase their way through it and get their upgrade materials instantly, whereas other people are going to have to maybe wait an hour for 5 of a specific material to be able to upgrade their weapons. This is leading to quite a massive issue inside of the game, and this was being something that we spoke about way before the beta even launched. So I want to know exactly where you guys are at with that one. The comments section should be absolutely flooded by this part of the video, because I am well intrigued to know exactly what you guys are thinking, because I think that the game is actually really, really good and has so much real room for growth. But as we get longer into this beta period, we are looking at essentially what would have been the first week of launch. It's a really long beta, therefore you have had quite a lot of time to dive through, and some people are already getting bored, although people like myself and a lot of my friends who are really confused by a lot of these reviews, because we are just loving this game so damn much. It seems to be something that we've been waiting on, although I kind of wish that Nexon wasn't the publisher behind it. That is something which I am really not looking forward to seeing the back end of, but let me know what you guys are thinking. And thirdly, and far from least, the lack of content. So the thing that we're starting to struggle with at this moment in time is that when the game actually first launched in beta, it was absolutely incredible. The game had so much to do and it was so amazing, and we had the generic looter shooter momentum, which essentially means that when you jump into the game, you are playing through the storyline, you're getting through all the new maps, the new areas, and everything looks absolutely incredible. And then you hit a stagnant part where you kind of realize that you are going to be at end game activity. Now, the one thing I'm not 100% sure on is how this game is actually going to work in end game activity, because the storyline is really damn good, and the generic figuring stuff out and finding new areas is pretty damn cool. But if we are going to look at Seneca and notice that the interception is going to be the only things that we are going to be able to do as an end game thing, that is going to cause quite a lot of issues. Once you have had the full game launch and we are able to open up the map and actually realize that we have maybe 7, 8 areas that we are going to be able to search, because at the moment I believe that there are 4 deactivated, then once you've gone through all of those and the map is completely open, you have completely done all of the missions and quest lines in each part of the map, defeated the bosses from each part of the map, and are left with the void intercept battles, whether it's normal or hard. If all we're left with is the void intercept battles, because realistically at that stage of the game you're only going to be doing the hard ones, what on earth is going to be for the future of it? This is the problem that we had with Outriders. The initial game was absolutely incredible and we had so much fun inside of that game. It is mental. There was so much we were able to do. There was so much we were able to visit. We were able to experience whole new things for a first time, which is where we get that initial glow up of a game, which is what we're experiencing right now in the beta. And then once you've completed the storyline and all is said and done and all it is now is time to grind, that is where the issues of creep starts to happen. And we really realize pretty damn quickly that actually there's not a lot to do now. So that's when the game will flop out. And I feel like the first Descendant, if all we've got is the intercept areas, may actually be subject to this quite heavily. I really hope that I am wrong in that regard, but I have had absolutely no other insight as to any other sort of end game activities that we are going to be able to do come the full launch. Maybe that's just me and over anticipating how this is going to be and what we've been experiencing throughout previous game titles, and seeing Anthem do the exact same thing. Although the bit that confuses me is that when Destiny first launched, the original game in 2014, what we had was the main story missions, strikes, and then a single raid, and that kind of just sat still where it was at for a little while until the first DLC came out. Now, don't get me twisted, I am fully aware that it was in 2014 and times are definitely moving forward. The genre has definitely expanded per se, and we should be expecting a lot more from these companies. But it just leads to question as to what it is we're actually going to receive, and our expectations now are a lot higher of the genre, and rightly so. We should be getting a lot more. I want to know what your guys' opinions are on this. The lifeless comment, the heavily monetized areas, which means that people can essentially whale out and just spend a load of money if they want to on getting ahead of the game, and the lack of potential content, which may actually mean some really bad news. Let me know via the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you're smashing the beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate all your faces, but as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.